Yo, what is up guys, Eslis Gaming back with another video, and we're gonna continue with the Feca testing, and we're gonna test the chance Feca build. So for the elemental build, I will be doing a crit build, so it's gonna be crit chance, crit int, crit agility, crit strength, which will be the future videos of course. And yeah, for this video it's gonna be the crit chance Feca. Now, before I'm gonna go too in depth on it, the most important thing I wanna mention for this is the tension, which is now called Sudden Shower. It has been reduced from 5 AP to 4 AP base, and used to be able to use the class boots in order to reduce the AP by 1. The minus AP on tension is now moved to the class ring, so no more class boots Feca. The class boot for the Feca will still buff, I think it will buff the Nimbus, making it non-line of sight, and as well the Black Eyes, which used to be the variant of the Chance Glyph as well. But the tension buff is now on the ring, which in fact will make it so much better to get a really nice 12 AP chance set, because before you couldn't because of the boots limitation. Now, look at this, guys. I'm sorry about the Mimisimbics. I'm not gonna move them. But I am using a full Berry Bell set. So it is the hat. Let me put it like this. Wait, actually, let me put it here. It is the hat, the belt, and the weapon. Then I'm gonna combine it with the Queen of Faith set, which is boots, amulet, and cape. Before you couldn't do that. I am using this set as well on my main Feca, but it is an 11 AP set because you don't benefit from the AP set bonus, right? Now you can. Now you can use the boots, and then you're gonna just use the class ring to reduce the AP cost of tension by 1. And then I'm gonna be adding the Rhinito ring because it gives 100 chance, 20 damage, and 5 crits. For Leaf, I'm gonna be using the Colophant, 120 chance, 15% crits, Dofuses, Ice Dofus, and Major T's, because this is a PVM build. I don't care, my vitality is so low, so I'm good with it. You could probably use a Dolmen Axe. You lose 30 chance, but you gain 200 vitality, so it's all up to you. You could even, if you can, use the Sylvan Dofus. If you have it, of course, it also buffs your 2 range, so which is really cool. The only variant, because this set, even with the range EXO, it is only 3 range, right? Now you could use a Harris bracelet. Keep in mind, this one is MP EXO, so it's still 12 AP if you put an AP EXO on this. You gain the range, and then, for example, add the Sylvan Dofus. And now, even without the range EXO, because this is 7 range, even without the range EXO, it is 6 range, right? So this is an option you have. You can also use the Deep Sea Bracelet, and then you need to use an EXO range and still have 6 range. If you really find range important, I don't really, because I'm playing with the Craw anyways, then you could do that. But otherwise, this is the set I'm going to be playing with. There is a variant that you could pick, and that is the full Harris set. So it's this one. Like I said, I got an MP EXO here. If you put an AP EXO, you are 12 AP, because they buffed this set. The amulet doesn't give an AP, but if you use a full set, the set bonus is 2 AP. So using this, you are still 12 AP, 6 MP. But even without the Sylvan Dofus, you are now 6 range with an EXO. Which, if you find range important, you could do it. The only downside of this is the set has a bit less chance. I think it does have more crits though. But less chance and about the same damage. What you can do, however, is use a Jahash with this set, because you are not limited to having the Queen of Faith cape. However, I did test out the damage. Even though this set has a Jahash with the 10% spell damage, this will do less damage than the set with Queen of Faith. This is the superior set. It will do more damage. So let's go over the stats real quick. 12 AP, 6 MP. It is 2 range, 3 range if you are using an EXO, and 5 if you're using the Sylvan Dofus. 1300 chance, 100 power, so 1400. Keep in mind the stats on the beta are all maxed out, so I'm just gonna say 1400 chance. 62 crits. However, on the regular server, I will be putting a 2 crit EXO on the amulet, which will make this 64 crits. I might even do some crit over. But yeah. 110 critical damage. And I think, where is the water damage? 18 water damage, which is equal to the Harris set with Johash. It also has still a little bit of intelligence, so you could probably play with that a little bit. Now, let's go over some of these spells. If you haven't watched my previous video where I go over the utility spells, there's probably a link in the description below. I will not go over the utility spells in this video. I'm just going to be focusing on the chance build. So first of all, you have Nimbus and Stratus, which used to be Strength, Storm, and Cloudy Attack. Nimbus is now 3 AP instead of 4 AP, and it is a area of effect cross of 1 cell. Users per turn 2. Keep in mind, this is for all of the elements. You don't steal stats anymore. You remove stats, so this in this case it is minus 180 chance. For the intelligence build, it is, where is the spell? Lifelessness, I think it was called. Oh no, it's this one. Minus 200 int. You don't steal the stats anymore. Keep in mind, you only reduce it. Stratus is the 4 AP variant. All are modifiable range. This one is actually a 1 square. So this is a bigger AoE. It also does a little bit more damage, but it is 4 AP. And it reduces the range of the enemies. Next up, we got Getaway variant of Gust. Getaway is 3 AP. It is linear only. Cost per target once, twice per turn. And it retreats yourself 3 cells, which I showed you guys in the previous video, which is really strong. Bubble got buffed as well. 2 AP. Twice per target, 3 times per turn. Removes range. I think it did remove 5 range. So it got, or 4, I think. It got reduced a little bit to 3, but that's fine. For PVM, you don't really care too much. However, you can now cast this in close combat or even 1 cell diagonally, which is really cool. Next up, we got Sudden Shower, which used to be Tension. And with this build, it is 3 AP. Pushes back 4 cells and does really great damage. And next up, we got the Glyph, is Thalle. And we got the variant, which is called Black Eyes, like the fireworks you can buy in Germany. It is basically the same spell, but it's now an AoE, which is really nice. Also, I'm gonna be showing you guys Barrier, which is gonna be stronger in the multi-element video, but it is still super strong in this video because you can. I'm gonna show you guys. You can cast this and push it the enemies in with Sudden Shower. Let's start a fight versus the pouch. And I'm gonna be showing you guys spells. First of all, we're gonna start out with Bubble. I don't have any weird buffs. No. Okay, so we got Bubble. 2 AP, you can cast it in close combat, diagonally. 600 damage when it crits. Really cool for 2 AP. Next up, we got Black Eyes. This used to be a single target spell. You can cast this on an empty cell. And if there's an invisible enemy, it will make the enemy visible. So let's say I put it here. Let's say, oh, the enemy is not there. I can push it. And I think if the enemy is there, it will still show up, right? But yeah, let's kill it. If I cast this on the enemy, it will do damage in an AoE. And this is a 3 AP spell. Look at the range. Boom. 1000 damage. That's really nice. Actually, I'm gonna swap these a little bit. Then we got Nimbus, also 3 AP. It is now AoE cross. You don't need a target. You can cast this next to the enemy. It does about 800 to 900 damage on a crit. Next, we got the Tension, which is now with this set 3 AP with the class ring. Pushes back the enemy 4 cells. Boom. 1300 damage. And you can only cast this once, but that is the same as before. So I really like this spell, I'm not gonna lie. Let's say the enemy is in your face, you are locked. You can use Getaway, it retreats 3 cells. And also does pretty good damage, because it will do more damage than the other 3 AP spells, I think. Well, not Black Ice. Black Ice does crazy damage. But this is the 3 AP spell, and this is the Getaway. It will do about 50 to 100 more damage than Nimbus, but Tension will do the most damage. And then you got this, Bubble, Bubble, and this. You can do some great combos with this set, because even with the Ochre buff, let's say you're 13 AP, you can cast Nimbus twice. Oh, well, you know what? Only cast this once even, because you can cast Black Ice, you can cast Tension, and then you have 4 AP left, so you can do Bubble twice, which is really nice. How much damage is that for a single turn? Not all of them critted, of course, but that's, I think, like 3k damage easily, so really, really nice. I want to be showing you guys the barrier combo, what I do. So let's say there's an enemy right there, right? So I can do barrier on the enemy, which will give them the gravity state. But, however, what I can do is use Tension to push them into the glyph. So Tension will do 1200 damage, and the glyph will do another about 1000 damage, which is not too bad. However, what you can also do is, let me actually, what you can do is cast the barrier, use Reinforced Protection, and then push the enemy in. The barrier will do about 400 more damage, because the barrier does do multiple elemental damage, which is really cool. Another thing I forgot to show in the previous video is the Feca isn't affected anymore by the minus stat. So the Fire Glyph does minus 4 MP. The Feca isn't affected anymore. The same will go for the Strength Glyph, minus 3 AP. The Feca isn't affected anymore. And look at this. I'm inside the Glyph. I just got 25% Earth and 25% Water Res from just being in the Glyph. I can show it here. Look, 25% Fire, 25% Earth while being in the Glyph. And yeah, Getaway is really nice. So I think, yeah, this is about it for the first couple of spells. I'm gonna be showing you guys the variants real quick. So we got Stratus, and we got, I think it's the Glyph, it's the only variant. This one. So Stratus is the 4 AP variant of the Nimbus spell. Look at the AoE, it is a square. Doesn't need a target, so it might be cool if you're playing versus bigger groups. The damage is really good. It's not too bad, but for 4 AP, I would rather have the 3 AP variant, to be honest. But the Glyph. So this is the Glyph. It's called Valet. Let's say you put this on the enemy. Now, you can do double damage with this. Let's say I'm gonna cast the barrier as well. Then I'm gonna be casting Reinforced Protection. It will trigger the Glyph, so it does 900 damage. I can Tension into the barrier, so that's another 2500 damage. And then if I skip my turn, because the enemy is still inside the Glyph, it will do another 1k damage. And then on the next turn, I can, well, let's say I'm gonna put another Glyph, because the set has decent int. And I'm gonna jump into the Glyphs. Both of them will trigger, doing another 1300 damage. And if I skip my turn, that's another 1500 damage right there. So the combos you can do are really nice. And especially in one of the later videos where I'm gonna be doing the multi-elemental build, you can really see the Glyphs in action. Although, if you're playing a single elemental build, I personally suggest to just play with the variants of the Glyph, because it just does direct damage. And for example, with the Black Ice, it is AoE as well. So I think this is better than Glyphs. And then I would probably play out with Feca Shield instead of Reinforced Protection. I would probably only play Reinforced Protection if you're playing multi-element Feca, or maybe even a hybrid. Other than that, I would probably want to play Feca Shield. So that's it for the spells. I'm gonna quickly show the variant of the barrier. It is not really important for the chance build, but it might be interesting. This used to be repulsion glyph, so you can cast this. If the enemy passes its turn in there, it will do damage in all of the elements. But if you cast this on, for example, the panda will get 15 luck for each enemy that is around the panda, so you can stack up until 60 luck, which could be interesting if you play multi-elemental build. But I would rather, as the barrier is right now, I don't know if it's gonna get nerfed, but as it is now, I would rather play with barrier and combine it with tension to pull the enemy in. What you can also do is, I'm gonna quickly show the Shepherd's Crook. Regardless of which build you play, you always want to play with the Shepherd's Crook spell, because it just pulls the enemy 3 cells. So you could, for example, place the barrier and then pull it in. So instead of pushing the enemy, you can pull the enemy, which is really, really cool, and it will does do pretty nice damage. But for example, if you play Chance, you would rather use Tension to pull it in, of course, to push it. So that's it for the Chance build, guys. Next video is going to be probably the Intelligence build, or Agility or Strength. They will all be uploaded later on this channel. If you're new and you want to see more beta testing, hit the subscribe button, follow me. Also, I will be streaming on Twitch later this week as well. I want to thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.